G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to take a look at the Android 21, Transforming Android 21, and how good she is at 100% in the hidden potential system. Now I do not have Android 21, unfortunately, didn't manage to get her, but she looks pretty good. In Android's Martial Power or Pepe Gal's category lead of 170% with an additional 30% for characters who also belong to Power Absorption, Transformation Boost or Crossover category. She is, of course, able to raise her attack and defense for one turn with a high chance of stunning the enemy on her super attack. In terms of her passive, she has attack and defense of 150% or allies key +2. She gets an additional attack and defense of 120% when attacking with a high chance of evading. She gets an additional key +2 and attack of 60% for 3 turns after evading. And she launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. She will launch another additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack starting from the turn in which she's performed her third attack. And she will disable the attacked enemy's action once within the turn when she performs her 6th attack in battle, and has a great chance of performing a critical hit starting from the character's next attack. She has Brainiac's Metamorphosis, Android Assault, Shocking Speed, Battlefield Diva, Scientist, thank you, not Scientist, and Fierce Battle. She's on Android's Battle of Wits crossover, Martial Power, Pepe Gal's Power Boost and Transformation Boost. She will transform from, well, you can elect to use it from the 5th turn of battle, and essentially her transformation makes her a slightly modified version of herself with better overall stats. 30% health recovery once only, attack and defense of 210% or allies key of 2, attack and defense of 121% and key of 2 when attacking, damage reduction of 21% with an additional defense of 60% within the same turn after receiving an attack, and launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a great chance of becoming a super attack. She will recover 21% HP when HP is 60% or less, and she gains Big Bad Bosses as a link, which replaces, if I am to be believed, Battlefield Diva, I think, which could be pretty interesting. No, it doesn't. It replaces something else. But essentially, she's pretty good. Big thing with her, as is with most of these units, is going to be how you build her. I think building her is predominantly, if you're factoring or favoring the transform state, I think the best build is going to be critical. Her defense, her start of turn defense does go up in the transform state. Theoretically speaking, well I say theoretically, but she's generally speaking a much better defensive unit, and she can output more damage if she gets off her multiple super attacks. So for me, building her into a crit position with her transform state is generally speaking going to be the best way to go. However, if you want to include a bit more additional than usual to try and trigger her baseline passives a bit faster, and also of course benefit from 4 potential super attacks, I completely understand. Remember, she recovers 5% HP in her transform state, so getting off 4 super attacks could equal 20% HP, but even getting off 3 super attacks equals 15%. Couple that with the fact that she has Metamorphosis, and in passive healing, she brings a lot of regeneration to the team, which ultimately at the end of the day I think is quite good. She's, realistically speaking, really honestly quite solid. Now, she does have damage reduction of 21%. This, not barring the gimmick of being 21%, this damage reduction is something you're going to see a lot on units. A lot of the times when, and I believe it's when they design a unit and that unit's raw stats cannot meet a threshold that unit requires, they will generally just throw on minimal amounts of damage reduction to bring that unit in line. And that's kind of what it feels like with Android 21. Feels like they saw her 300 and odd change start of turn defense when transformed, thought that's really good, but we've introduced AoE events where they hit 500k. People are going to lose their minds if this happens, so we're going to throw on 21% damage reduction. What this does though is it does make her pretty good. She's not going to tank supers from the hardest units in the game before supering, but after supering, with the fact that she raises her attack and defense really well, with the fact that she has a multiplicative super attack boost, and with the fact that she can trim off 21% for that damage, she actually has really good after super defense, which, you know, is quite a nice thing. I think overall, Android 21 is probably what I would say is a good example of a 2023 good DFE. She's not insane, like she's not the craziest best unit in the game, but she's not by any means bad. I think she's actually pretty decently designed. I think she brings some really solid utility, which at least for me is really nice and really good. She brings with her a pretty good leader skill. They gave her good coverage. Her link set, obviously being a bit more, kind of extreme unit based with big bad bosses, but they gave her a good linking partner, good general banner unit. We've just had the DB Hero celebration. She links up okay with enemies on her team. She does well on androids. So I think for me, she's good. I think personally, the triple coverage leader skill makes her really solid. For example, how many Pepe Gals units are on Pepe Gals and Transformation Boost? How many Pepe Gals are Pepe Gals and Crossover? I think that's good. And you've got like androids and power absorption and martial power and power absorption. Really good crossover there. And then just for good measure, you can obviously cover androids and Transformation Boost. There's some good crossover androids as well. So I think overall, realistically speaking, her passive is, her leader skill is really good. So she's just looking really solid ultimately at the end of the day. Her active skills also in the category of helpful, massively raising her attack, causing ultimate damage, disabling an action, and within the turn activated, attacks are effective against all types, is all pretty solid stuff. Obviously you do want to still build her crit. One turn of attacks effective against all types is not really enough to carry her payload. There is an argument to be said that you don't need to transform her straight away, and I do agree with that. I don't think you need to transform her immediately. I think she's a very solid unit in base, and I think you can linger around with her in that base form. I just think content's so hard, and a lot of her best linking partners are not necessarily first slot units. For example, her best linking partner is the physical Android 21 transformed, who's really quite solid. But by them making her her transformation and active skill, they essentially allow you to link her up with herself, which I think is realistically the coolest thing that comes out of this. So I think that's really good. In terms of her as a unit, I think for me, top notch. Link skill wise, obviously you want to prioritize big bad bosses if possible, but you also have really strong link sets like Brainiacs, big bad bosses. Scientist is something that's a little bit more obviously tied to like Bulma and her Android 21. And then you have Android Assault, which is really good. So I really like Android Assault. I think she's got enough great links that you can make an excuse to miss out one of them. So if you get like big bad bosses and Android Assault, great. If you get Android Assault and Brainiacs, great. If you get Android Assault and Scientist, or Scientist and Brainiacs, if you get like either of those combinations, it's great. Obviously, when paired up with another Android 21, of which we actually surprisingly have two very good ones. We have the free-to-play one, is actually really decent, and we have the physical evil one from the banner that's really good as well. When you compare up with those units though, you see a pretty top tier kind of starter turn defense and just overall performance. But yeah, I think overall she's really good. I think she's honestly quite impressive. I would say although she's at the end of 2023, she probably sets a good example of what a good 2023 DFE looks like. And I think, yeah, she does a great job. So that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.